Hey guys, we're back for another deck profile for the new format, and now that we have 3 engage, I might as well go ahead and provide a pure Sky Striker deck list. I'm aware Sky Striker is not going to be going top and winning YCSs any day soon, but doesn't mean we can't have fun with one of the most fun decks of all time to play, and that's Sky Striker here. Now that there's 3 engage off the ban list, basically full power. The only thing that's still limited is Hornet drones, I believe, so yeah, essentially full power Sky Striker. So let's go ahead and check out what a deck list is going to look like for the new format, in my opinion. And I'll go through a little bit of card choices here and talk through why I've decided to play some things and why I've decided to cut other things, but also provide you guys some options for flexibility in case you want to actually change up the deck list a little bit, or if you have a problem with the list I'm building, which a lot of people usually do when I show my striker deck list, but hey, you're going to have to deal with it. All right, so we're going to go through the main and extra deck. No side deck today, but I will talk about some cards that I might include in a side deck if I were to bring it to a tournament. Let's go ahead and start with the main. So it's going to be real easy with the main deck. 4 monsters, just 3 Ray, 1 Rose. I think with the package that we're playing in here, or the amount of access to these guys that we have, I think just these 4 are going to be fine. And then on that note, I'm going to go ahead and show the 3 linkage now. So there's usually some kind of 7 card ratio among these. Obviously always 3 Ray in the pure striker list, but you know, you can play 2 Rose, 2 linkage, or you know, you could play 3 linkage, 1 Rose. I'm liking linkage more and more just because of how fast it turbos up spells into your graveyard, and being able to resolve those extra engaged draws sooner is going to be more important. So we're going to go ahead and rep these guys right here as our kind of monster access lineup. And in addition to that, I'll just go ahead and plop down a reinforcement of the army. So we kind of have like 8 cards to access the monsters. In addition to our 3 copies of Engage, these can also search Ray directly, or Rose, or Linkage. They search the whole deck directly, basically. So definitely huge to have them back at 3 and be able to max out on them. For the rest of the striker spells, kind of a standard list, but 3 Widow, just 2 multi-roll. I think only 2 is necessary. I don't think 3 is really needed anymore, and we're not playing Area 0, so I don't think that having, you know, we're not dependent on having that synergy to have the Area 0 like send off of multi-roll and that kind of thing. But you can play 1 Area 0, like I don't hate it. I don't hate it. And then we have 1 Hornet drones. I guess that kind of goes up in the monster access lineup here. And then 1 burners, 1 shark. You can play 2 shark. It's decent in this format going into Fire King. But going second into a lot of other boards like Labyrinth, Voiceless Voice, Yugioh, Branded, like Shark Cannon's kind of meh. I mean, Shark Cannon's actually kind of decent into Branded because you can hit the Gimmick Puppet if that's what you're worried about, but I don't know. I don't really think it's worthwhile playing more than 1 and just have the searchable copy. For the rest of our spell cards, we're going to have 3 copies of Thrust. It's like so nice to be able to essentially search and engage most of the time. Alongside that, I'm actually on 2 talents. I think talents is worth playing at 2 in this particular list, even though usually you see 3 thrust, 1 talents, and then we have other power spells. But if you open both, like, and resolving both is just too good, especially in this deck where we want as many power spells as we can. Speaking of power spells, 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet. Just look at the spell lineup that we have available to send. You know, Droplet Chainlink to burn through some of our other spell cards is going to be really nice to clear boards. So I do like Droplet here. And then 1 copy of Duster. I think back row removal is actually pretty good. You can play Cosmic Cyclone, but I opted for Duster just because it's searchable. But I think Cosmic is also very good and has its merits, and is definitely going to be a 3 of in my side deck this coming format. But essentially, if we look at our matchups coming up, Fire King, Voiceless Voice, Yugioh, all of them have a board that you want to Duster. So yeah, I think it could be pretty good, and I think it's worth playing in the main. But if you're worried about Fire King leaving the Sanctuary up, then we can swap that out for a Cosmic. It just won't be searchable. The rest of the main deck is going to be hand traps. We have 12 slots, and we're going to be playing the 12, in my opinion, best ones. 3 Nib, 3 Droll, like get used to this in the format. I think 3 Imperm, 3 Ash, and I think this is just going to round out the main deck list here. I think these are the best 4 hand traps in the format right now, so I don't see why not play and max them out. The idea of Droll is kind of hopefully just skip a turn as much as possible, get into a little bit more of a grind game, slow the game down. Same with Nibiru. Imperm won't get hit by talents, so that's good, and then Ash is just generically good into every single matchup. So yeah, that's going to be a 40 card list. Before I scoop it up, I want to also talk about Hamp. I don't know how relevant Pearly will be or how popular but it will be, but if you're going to have an issue with X-Pearly Noir, you can tech a Hamp into your main deck, or this is also solid for getting rid of cards like the what's it called, the Skull Guardian, whatever the Omni Negate Ritual spell for Voiceless is. Hamp could be pretty nice into that too. So yeah, there is some merit to playing the 1 copy of Hamp just as a tech option, but that's my 41st card, but I wouldn't actually main deck it. You can probably side deck this card and be fine. Yeah, so like I said, that wraps up the main 40 cards, about half engine, half non-engine, and that's just kind of what Striker is all about, right? So now let's go through the extra deck. It's going to be fairly standard and also fairly flexible in the last few slots, but you know, we do this every time. Triple Shizuku, triple Kagari, double Hayate, 1 Kaina. I mean, just your standard Striker lineup. And then we have the 1 Zeke, 1 Azalea as well. Azalea is also kind of nice because when we have Nibiru on our board, like if we nib our opponent, we have to get rid of that Nibiru to be able to activate our Striker spells. So having Azalea is a cool option for a way to get rid of that nib off your field. Because Nib is a light, and then any other Striker monster access is going to get us there to Azalea. We can also get rid of the Nib via Forbidden Droplet or the multi-roll as well. So, yeah, we got a little bit of options. For the rest of the links, 1 SP, of course, like fantastic. If I had 2 SPs, it would probably honestly be 2 SPs in this extra deck, and I'm a little bit at a loss of what other links to play right now in this particular deck. Like, I don't think... I'm kind of just defaulting to kind of old school Hida plus access code, because there's going to be fire cards everywhere and you might be able to get up into access code just to out issues. And I know it's 2024 and I'm still playing access code and it's a little bit cringe. So, but I don't really think I know of anything else to play within only a 3 remaining card package. The 3rd card is a Typhon. That's going to be better than just like Hida access code Typhon. So if you guys think of something, you can play a Zeus in theory. You know, if you steal an Exceed monster, attack with it and overlay Zeus on top, that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, it's kind of up to you on where you want to go. You can even just like ignore these. I think Typhon is kind of necessary, but you can ignore these, play another Hayate or another Zeke if you want as well, and that's totally understandable. Okay. But that'll round out the main and extra and the whole list in general. So if I were to side deck, I would be siding stuff like D-Barrier, I would be siding stuff like Cosmic Cyclone, and then just a little bit more variety in hand traps, probably like Ghost Bell, Ghost Mourner, Effect Veiler, like some combination of those. Maybe Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit I think might be coming back a little bit more in this particular format. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this list. Leave a like, sub to the channel if you enjoyed. We'll catch you guys in the next one. We'll see you soon.